All right, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm going to give my college football round 2 predictions. And I'm recording this way early, so if there's injuries, I'm recording this on the 22nd of December, so a week and a half before the actual games are played on New Year's. And so this is hopefully not, there won't be much change from now, but here is going to be my official predictions about these games. So obviously round 1 was electric with Alabama coming back down 17-0 against Oklahoma, with Miami fighting hard with some defense against Texas A&M, winning 10-7, with JMU and Tulane, not laying down but doing their job and losing. But with Oregon and Ole Miss really taking it to them and showing them exactly what a Power 4 conference looks like. But first off, before we keep going, drop a comment, subscribe if you're listening on podcasts or whatever. Please let us know that you're there, and I'll be interested to see what happens. Or I'd love to see you guys' feedback about this video. So my predictions are this. Starting off, let's start off with an easier. I'm not going to start off with Indiana versus Alabama because to me that game's going to be a pretty interesting one to call. I'm going to start off with Ohio State versus the University of Miami. You look at Miami, you look at the University of Ohio State, you see a lot there. I'm going to start off with Miami. Carson Beck, that offense hasn't been perfect this season. With losses to SMU, with losses to Louisville throughout the season this year. Not a great showing when it comes to that perspective of things. I'm thinking this. You look at the makeup of what they did against Texas A&M, who is a team that I was not sold on, so, I digress. But looking at that and looking at a team like Texas A&M, they are going to go and play Ohio State, which a lot of people arguably think are the best team, one of the best teams in college football. Obviously, I think they are top 3 when it comes to college football and what they are as a team. I'm going to start off by saying, or I'm going to continue by saying this. I think Miami are a team that are very polarizing. They are a team who are very inconsistent. Their last year their offense was electric with Cam Ward. Their defense struggled this year. Their defense is outstanding. Their offense has been a little up and down. To me, you have Ohio State, who is one of the most efficient and effective offenses in college football, and I think we'll see that this weekend or whenever they play. And I think you have a defense who has shown glimpses of being one of the best as well. I personally think I'm going to take Ohio State. Now, to me, it's not even hard. I think Ohio State wins this game by at least 6.5. I think the offense of Ohio State, they want to get into a shootout with Miami because I don't think Miami can possess that quality. I think defense needs to step up for Miami, and if they do not, then they 100% lose this game. Ohio State, on the other hand, they know that they need to show the world, show the country why they are the best team in college football. And I think they will do that. I think they will come out a little slow. I think all the teams who have first-round buys will come out a little slow, a little sluggish, a little lethargic. But they'll find themselves towards the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. So I'm going to take Ohio State to beat Miami there. We're going to go talk about Texas Tech versus Oregon. First off, I'll say this about Oregon. Oregon has been, in the last 2 years, they've lost twice. They've lost to Ohio State at the Rose Bowl. They got blown out. Against one of the best teams who ended up going on and winning a national championship, by the way. And then they lost to Indiana this season, who is the best team in college football right now, 13-0, number 1 seed in college football. And that's what that is. That's who they've lost to in the past 2 years. I see a team who is made up of offensive efficiency while having a defensive prowess to really dominate teams. I see a team in Texas Tech who's never really been to this point in a long time, who went out and spent all that money in NIL this offseason, who really are, new to this role. And that's not a detriment of them, but I do think that because they are new to that role, and Oregon has been in the playoffs, they know what it feels like, they know what it looks like. Dan Lanning knows what it feels like, it looks like. That team knows exactly what it is. I'm going to take Oregon to win this game. I think it'll be a game 24-21. I think this game is separated by 2.5 points. I would take that all day long. Oregon minus 2.5. I'd smash that, and I'd have Oregon winning this game. Next up, I'm going to jump to talking about who do I want to talk about next? I want to talk about Indiana versus Alabama. You look at Indiana versus Alabama, a number 1 versus a number 9. I personally think this Alabama team is a very interesting team because of a couple different things. The first reason why, I think the idea that Alabama has 0 running game, and we saw that against Oklahoma. Oklahoma also has 0 running game. But the idea that they have 0 running game will become a detriment to them during this game. On the flip side of that, they have one of the best leaders in college football in Ty Simpson. And I think we saw that, them being down 17-0. He didn't waver. He did his job. He was, ready, excited to be there, to do his job, to lead his team to a national championship, blah, 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 blah. I think their defense has to come out faster. Their offense has to come out faster. I think a lot of people are playing with the idea that this Indiana team are not the real deal. And I'm telling you right now that this team is the real deal. I think we can see a planet where this Indiana team are down 10 points going into halftime. And I can see a planet where they also come back and win that game. I think no matter how low the score or how big the gap is, I think Indiana controls it and wins. I do think, though, if Alabama are down big going into halftime against this Indiana team, that game is over. I genuinely think that game is over if Alabama are down. Because I think it's a different conversation from playing an Oklahoma team who are going to shoot themselves in the foot versus playing a 13-0 team who are very disciplined, Heisman quarterback, best coach in college football. All of those tallies line up to showing success. And so that's why I'm personally going to take Indiana to knock off Alabama. Love Mendoza, love Ty Simpson. Quarterback play will be electric. People are saying that Indiana has played a cupcake schedule. I completely disagree with that statement. People also say that Indiana, have really never had pressure on Mendoza. I completely disagree with that statement as well. I think, yes, there will be pressure, but I also do think that Fernando Mendoza is a better passer of the football than John Mateer. And we'll see that whenever Mendoza is in the pocket doing his job and making those first downs for the University of Indiana. So give me Indiana to win that game. And then last but not least, Ole Miss versus the University of Georgia. I have wrestled with the idea in my mind all season long that Gunnar Stockton is not ready for the moment. He's not ready to be that guy that Georgia needs him to be. Until I watched him in the SEC championship game. That's until I watched him in the SEC championship game. Gunnar Stockton, to me, controlled the narrative of what that game was from the start to the finish. I think, though that game will not be separated by more than 5.5, 6.5 points, I do have to say right now, I do have Georgia winning that game. I'd love an idea where Ole Miss was to win this game because I love the idea of them, being successful after Lane, and I think they will be successful after Lane. But I also think you are going to lose something while losing an offensive play caller to his magnitude. I also think that when you look at it, Georgia is going to be a team that are going to have to show their strength from the start to the end. You can't, because it's an SEC team, because they are a team who went one loss, I think, during the season, you can't show a force of, we can go down and come back. Because I think if you give this Ole Miss team faith and hope that they can beat Georgia, the best team in the SEC, arguably the best team in college football, then Ole Miss can rally and beat you. I think that Gunnar Stockton, that defense for Georgia has been so much better. Their secondary has been so much better this season than they were last year. I think Georgia are in prime spot to beat the University of Ole Miss, University of Miami, and University of Ohio State. I think Georgia can win this side of the bracket if they put their minds to it, and I think they will. Give me Georgia to win that. But let me know what you think down below in the comments about what this looks like, about what these college predictions are. If you like them, if you hate them, whatever the case may be. But I'm excited to see what happens. This video will probably come out on because the game starts the 1st. This will probably come out on the Monday, probably the 29th. So yeah, you're hearing this, probably when it's going to happen. So appreciate everybody for watching. Take it easy. Have a great holidays, and yeah, peace.